Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Come on in. Pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, incredibly enough, thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Monday, February 6th, 2023. This is live stream 883. If this is your first time hanging out with me, let me point out, super casual around here. We are certainly not engaging in rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news and taking a look at a tabletop game. And today I am going to be sharing a first look at the BX Advanced Bestiary for old school essentials and other old school Renaissance games from Third Kingdom Games. So we're going to be diving on into this in just a bit. As a bonus, we are also going to be taking a look at filling in the blanks from Third Kingdom Games as well. So this company is really well known for their populated hexes monthly series. And this kind of goes into some of the detail about creating your own hex crawls. So kind of cool, and populating your map. So we're going to be taking a look at both of those tonight. But of course, should mention, if you're not overly familiar with the show, we do tackle first. Whoops. What the hell was that? It's like, what? That was weird. Very strange. I was going to say, I thought it was really weird that the intro piece seemed to end like real quick, because I glanced away at something and then all of a sudden I turned back figuring, okay, I've got another second or two before I'm like, hey, happy Monday, you know? And then I was like, it's like, why is it showing me turning my head? It's like, what's going on? Hey, you never know. I've been playing around with some things. So hopefully we find that our overhead camera view is going to be probably the sharpest we've ever seen. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Anyway, if you're not familiar with this stream and the snafus that take place because it is a live show, do want to mention we tackled the tabletop gaming news first. So it's going to probably be about 35 minutes or so before we jump on into the BX Advanced Bestiary Volume 1. So if you are tuning in live, kick back, relax, enjoy yourself. It's a manic Monday, I'm sure. So put your feet up. Then again, if you are watching this 30 minutes or more after the stream ends, there will be timestamps. So if you want to jump ahead, if you're impatient and just got to get to that first look, I can certainly understand. So there are timestamps. They are found in the show notes. So you can jump ahead if you want to get right into that first look. And depending on whatever device you might happen to be watching this on, those timestamps might be right there in the timeline, right under your nose. So there is that. So when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you will not find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And this is a live stream, so that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. Plus, you have to be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can take part in chat. Yet another way that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you've got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. First out the gate tonight was Stray Kismet. The Motor City Madman is with us. Yes, one of our chat moderators, the Madman. Shaz is here. Kathy Evans, flaming here on another of our chat moderators. So is Vaughn Moore, Mr. Bacon Pants. I believe this might be a first-time visit for Monsieur Bacon Pants. Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us. James Eck is here as well. So, Mr. Bacon Pants says, I wish I could jump ahead now. All right, banhammer him. Get rid of this guy. Just joking. Devil Ham is also with us. So is Mike Larson. So I believe those two are also first-time visitors with us in chat. So, and Chuck Terrell is here too. I believe it might be Chuck's first visit. So it looks like we've got some first-timers here. So our usual suspects in chat, make them feel at home. All right, so we're going to jump on in. Mr. Bacon Pants says, thanks. I always watch the recorded videos. Oh, yeah, welcome aboard. I appreciate you taking some time out to join us live. So let's jump on into the news, because arriving from KOSMOS in March is High Score. And here's the skinny. Roll some dice, make the right moves, get lucky. Oh, yeah, get lucky. And earn the most points by the end of the game. Oh, that's how you're getting lucky. High Score is a competitive dice game that marries the luck of the dice with strategic gameplay and ever-changing rules. Each round, players are presented with a new challenge card that dictates different dice rolling rules for that round. Players take turns rolling dice, deciding if they want to re-roll dice and trying to get the most points possible as determined by the current challenge card. Do only the odd dice count? What value is the vortex die in this round? Which dice count toward your final score? The player with the most points by the end of 7 rounds is the winner. High Score takes the basic concepts of Yahtzee or Farkle and adds a layer of strategy that makes the game way more replayable. I don't know. I think Yahtzee's replayable. I don't necessarily think Yahtzee's all that great a game, but it is replayable. It's great for game nights or to teach kids basic math concepts like quadratic equations in a simple and fun way. High Score is for 2 to 5 players ages 8 and up, plays in around 30 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $14.99 when it arrives in stores next month. Nice, fun family game we can roll on out there, no pun intended, seeing that it is a dice chucking game. There's actually quite a few games coming from KOSMOS this month and next. So nice to see. We got a variety of titles. We've got some new The Exit games. We also have that Lord of the Rings game that's coming. I think that's end of this month, if I remember correctly. So Flaming Heron says, I don't know. Aren't most games replayable? Yes. But sometimes some games replay kind of the same way all the time. So, yeah, Devil Ham says, well, you can only lose once at Russian roulette. That's a good point. That is a very good point. Kevin R. Smith is with us. Good to see you, Kevin. Welcome aboard. I think I've said hello to everybody in chat to this point. Arriving in the third quarter from Eagle-Gryphon Games is the deluxe edition of Federation. Here's the scoop. The galaxy is organized into many coalitions that govern multiple solar systems and worlds. Your system wants to join one of these federations. Your fledgling empire is small, but that will not stop you. It's your job to impress the petty bureaucrats who control access to the Federation that your tiny government should be taken seriously. Becoming a full member would give you advantages over your rivals, but yours is not the only delegation that has set its sights on joining the Federation. So the contest begins. You have 5 years to prove that you can be a productive member. During these 5 years, you must make the most of your opportunities to impress them. Sometimes you may be forced to work together with your rivals to provide funding for special projects. So it can be helpful to make friends, but you must stay one step ahead of them. At the end of the 5 years, only one new member will be selected. It'll be the one with the most prestige. Federation is an interactive Euro game with an innovative double-sided worker placement mechanic. Every time you place a worker, you must decide if that worker will vote in favor of legislation that helps your cause or provides funding for local improvement projects. Every action is critical. At the end of the year, the votes are counted, and whichever legislation becomes law offers points for the players who have the highest level of influence in that area. Players must keep an eye on each opponent to see the places where they are strong or weak. Making sure that the areas you specialize in will score at the end of the game is critical to your success. Plan your strategy and execute it with the proper timing, and that spot in the Federation will be secured. The deluxe edition includes all of the bonus content found from the Federation Kickstarter, which was funded by Explorate, or Explorate, I think is how it's pronounced. Of course, this is the English language edition. This is going to be available from Eagle-Gryphon. The Federation Deluxe Edition is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up. Plays in around 30 minutes per player. It's going to carry an MSRP of $99.99. Right now, you can save $25 if you pre-order from Eagle-Gryphon. Very nice. Very nice. This is another company that we are seeing a good number of titles arriving from. Now, I used to cover Eagle and Gryphon because they were separate back at the time. And I don't know if they were a company that just didn't get my email that I was moving from Arizona at the time. But once I moved, I really never heard anything from them again. It was kind of weird. Kind of weird. But yeah, Eagle-Gryphon makes some, they publish some pretty cool games, some pretty good stuff. So this looks pretty interesting. And this was a very successful Kickstarter as well. So let's move on to some role-playing game news because pre-orders are now open for the upcoming Keys from the Golden Vault Adventure Collection for Dungeons & Dragons from Wizards of the Coast. Here's the dope. D&D players are not strangers to impossible missions. Oh, I could say so much about that. A perilous heist requires careful strategizing, followed by daredevil antics when something unexpected happens and the player's plan goes sideways. Dungeons & Dragons invites players to experience the thrill, drama, strategy, and intrigue of the heist genre in Keys from the Golden Vault, the latest Dungeons & Dragons book of adventures. Keys from the Golden Vault will be released in North America on February 21st and on March 24th in the UK and Europe. A secret organization called the Golden Vault sends mission briefings to its operatives, the adventurers, in the form of magical golden keys that are inserted into what looks like a mundane music box. If you choose to accept this mission, this music box will destruct in 5 seconds. Instead of a pretty tune, though, the music box then provides a recording with all the information needed for the adventurers to hunt a particular item of interest, said Amanda Hammond, senior game designer on the D&D team and co-lead designer of Keys from the Golden Vault. It's up to the adventurers to do the reconnaissance necessary to circumvent any defenses and pull off a legendary heist. Teamwork is paramount because, as so often happens in these capers, something will go wrong and creative thinking could save the day. Oh, I guarantee there is plenty of things going wrong that are built into these adventures. The Golden Vault is rumored to be associated with metallic dragons and based on one of the good-aligned outer planes. Its operatives help the downtrodden and innocent when the law can't. The organization's motto is do good, no matter the cost. D&D players can live out their fantasies of running a caper like one they might have seen on the silver screen in movies such as Mission Impossible, Ocean's 11, or even The Great Muppet Caper. Yes, the greatest heist film of all time, which I've actually never seen. They can be played as one-offs, dropped into ongoing campaigns, or run as a campaign of heists perpetrated by the same crew. Each adventure includes 2 full-page maps, one that players can use to plan their heist, and the other the Dungeon Master will use to run the adventure, says Chris Perkins, story architect of the D&D team and co-lead of Keys from the Golden Vault. The player's map, however, is often unreliable or incomplete. Keys from the Golden Vault has an alternate cover by Simeon Miner, and it is available only in game stores. And the evergreen cover is by Anna Paredwana. Sorry, I'm sure I butchered that. And of course, once again, available in North America on February 21st. Fans who pre-order the digital and physical bundle over at dndstore.wizards.com will be able to access the digital release tomorrow. Yes, you heard me correct. Tomorrow. This 208-page hardcover carries an MSRP of $49.95. Once again, hitting stores on February 21st. So let's see what's going on in chat here. Mike Larson says, you live in Arizona? No, I used to live in Arizona. I'm from the Chicago area, born and raised in the city. And then I was out in, I was going to say, I lived in Chicago for about 30 years, maybe a little more than 30 years. And then I was in Arizona for about 12. So, Mr. Bacon Pants is creative thinking in 5e. Well, it depends on who your dungeon master is, of course. Like, I'm one of these kind of game masters where you can't just roll a skill and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to roll my fast talk, see if I can get past these goons at the door. No, you got to tell me what you're doing. What are you saying? I mean, we don't have to role play it all out, but give me an idea. Then you get to roll. So, Roger Prudhomme is with us. Good to see you, Roger. Coco B is also here with us in chat. Very nice. So, who was it who just said, let's see how many people have forgiven? Flaming Huron. I guess we'll see how many people have forgiven Wizards of the Coast. All right. So, let's be very honest here. Is this going to be DOA? Is this going to be Dead on Arrival? Because there are still a lot of people who are very upset with Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. Me personally, I think, once again, I'm not trying to butter up anybody at Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro or their PR companies or anything like that. But I honestly, yeah, I gotta say, the concerns that many of us had about the open game license have been taken care of. So we know that the other companies that, we're involved with and we're invested in are going to be all right. If they're still making stuff for 5e and like the OSR and stuff like that. Now, does that take Wizards completely off the hook? Absolutely not. I made 2 videos talking about it, but uh, I don't know. I have no idea. So, as I was saying, is this going to be DOA? I kind of think it will. I kind of think it's going to be kind of a dead on arrival release. And here's the other thing that I thought was very unusual is it was within the last month we even heard whispers about this. I think it was only a week ago that we actually got these images that I'm sharing with you because I did put this news piece out last week. It was after I finished the shows for the week. So, and I thought, well, okay, it's a pretty big news piece. I'll put it out there. So, I honestly don't think this is going to go over too well. And I kind of get the feeling this is going to be pretty rushed. We have seen Wizards of the Coast rushing things out the door. And I kind of get the impression this might end up being another release like that. I don't know. I got to be honest, I have no idea if I'm going to see a review copy of this because, I made it known that I was not happy with the folks over at Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if they send it along, I'll share it with you. I'll do a review. So, it's not like I'm sitting there going, oh, never, never again. Now, if Wizards of the Coast had stuck to their guns, well, Hasbro really had stuck to their guns with the open gaming license, I'd have been like, I'm done. I even said that publicly. So anyway, I figured I'd share the news piece. We'll see what happens. Hey, for all we know, it could be a fun adventure collection. I don't know. But I did figure I'd share the news because I know a lot of people are kind of excited that if you pre-order the physical and digital bundle, you get access to this tomorrow. So pretty wild. Pretty wild. Joseph Qualm's with us. Says, so if I understand this correctly, the whole book is a single hook with a number of pre-gen example adventures. I think I'll just use the hook and skip the book. He's a poet and doesn't know it. Chuck says he's not supporting them any further. Liquid Nebula is with us in chat. Welcome aboard. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, 245 Trioxins with us as well. So Liquid Nebula said they did say they weren't going to take it against content creators and their opinions, but then again, trust issues. Well, as I said before, I do not run a D&D channel, so I don't have to concern myself about this at all. Kevin asks, are they releasing a PDF of this one? No, I'm pretty sure it's the D&D Beyond. That's the digital release. Is if you get the physical book, if you order the physical book and it's not a PDF, I don't think. I think it's HTML actually. So Flaming Heron says it sounds like that. I wonder if it's a D&D Beyond edition. Yeah, that's like I said, I think that's what's going on. All right. Moving right along, a new edition of the Beer and Pretzels fantasy role-playing game, Kobolds Ate My Baby, is up for crowdfunding. Here's the latest from Ninth Level Games. Kobolds Ate My Baby gets a new edition. We're back at it again, causing havoc and burning down the town with everyone's favorite cannon fodder, the kobolds. What can you expect in the new edition? Over 100 pages of silly jokes and sillier kobolds. Even faster character creation, necessary since you die a lot. Streamlined, elegant rules that make it even more fun to die horribly for King Torg. All hail King Torg! Polymorph is so easy a kobold could play. Roll your dice and check to see if you succeed. Death checks and damage all rolled into a single system. There's treats. You'll have to wait to hear more about those. There are random tables, more random tables, and in case you were worried, some random tables. There is a very quick video. It's less than a minute. So let's take a quick peek.
Are we shooting? Yeah. Oh yes. Sorry. Hello, nerds. I am E. I am a kobold, and I am asking you from the bottom of my tiny orange little body: do not give Ninth Level Games any money. They just want to make more games that are about kobolds dying. I don't want to die, guys. Don't give them any money. All hail King Torg.
You better say a prayer to poor. Get gourd on a fork. Gorge in your pork. It's all meat. Make a rump roast out your butt cheek. Don't waste a piece from the feet to the teeth. Remembering village in the village when all the ladies going crazy saying, Kobolds ate my baby. All hail King Torg.
The backer kit project for Kobolds Ate My Baby is well past the 1,100% funding mark. That was actually yesterday, so it might be even further beyond that. But you can reserve a copy of the book and PDF for a $20 pledge, or grab just the PDF for a $15 pledge through February 23rd. Expected delivery will be this October. So I reviewed the deluxe edition of Kobolds Ate My Baby way back in the day and thought, this is a blast. It is hysterical. It is really, really good. Now there's just more of it. And if you may recall my review of Mazes from Ninth Level Games, that is kind of an OSR system based on the polymorph, where it's like your character gets a die, depending on what their role is, you get a die. Yeah, once again, no pun intended. So, like, if you're a wizard, you get a D4, things like that. So, super, super easy to jump into. And yes, there is a kobold plush toy, which is one of the pledge levels. So, there is that. I think it's $25. And it's included in a few of the pledge levels. Got to be honest, though, I don't know if it's going to look like that puppet. Because if it looked like that puppet, it'd be like, oh, yeah, sold. It's like, bam, I'm grabbing that. But I don't know. You'll have to take a look at the backer kit project to get a better feel. Because I think the picture that they're sharing right now in the upper right corner of the plush, I think that's actually the puppet. Don't know. But yes, that kobold, if that kobold's like this big, I'd be like, I'm all over it. It'd be sitting right behind me. So you could see it hanging out all the time. So Joseph says, gotta get that plush now. Devil Him was saying, yeah, do they sell that Muppet? My kids would love it. Maybe kobolds ate your baby. I don't know if anybody's gonna kind of catch where I'm referencing there. Don't know. And no, it's not the movie with Meryl Streep. All right, so there is a lot of discussion regarding Wizards of the Coast and not supporting them and sticking it to Hasbro. Hey, I have no issue with folks doing that at all, because as Kevin points out, you can play all the D&D you want without giving Wizards of the Coast a single penny. Only use books you already own and third-party products. And don't forget, you can always buy stuff used. If you're buying things used, Wizards of the Coast, they're not making a profit off of that. Flaming Harris says, Dingo did not take my kobold. I'm making reference to an episode of Seinfeld. When Elaine is at a party, and I always have to laugh because I always thought she's an excellent character because she's so awkward in social situations. Like the one episode where she's dancing at some party and she's like, oh, let's get this party started. And she starts dancing. And it's like, oh my God. It's so embarrassing. So they're at a party. Her and Jerry are at a party and somebody's talking about their baby. And just out of nowhere, Elaine looks at her and she says, maybe a dingo ate your baby. It's like, what the? Alrighty, let's move on to the last news piece. Because right now you can score huge savings and jump aboard the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Humble Bundle that is currently on offer. Here's the deets on the deal. Gear up for your Pathfinder journey. Limitless adventure awaits, and this epic bundle from Paizo is the perfect way to join the thriving community of rangers, rogues, and sorcerers in the Pathfinder 2nd Edition tabletop role-playing game. This digital adventurer's kit is packed with everything new heroes need to embark on their own saga, plus tons of RPG resources to power countless adventures to come. Outfit yourself with essentials including the digital Pathfinder 2nd Edition beginner box and core rulebook. Discover the perils that await in the Abomination Vault's adventure path, plus the Foundry virtual tabletop version, and more campaign ebooks. Get resources to enhance your journey, including guides to the Pathfinder world, expanded character options, digital pawns and maps, and more. Unleash your hero and help support Code for America with your purchase. You can jump aboard for as little as $5 or go all in for a donation of $25 or more to score all 28 PDFs through February 23rd. Dan Kellogg's with us in chat. Welcome aboard. So yes, there is a new Pathfinder Humble Bundle. Usually they start at $1. Usually it's $1 and you can get, it's usually for $1 they toss out the beginner box. Now it's $5, but I think the $5 like donation level gets you, I think it gets you the beginner box and the core rule book and some other cool stuff. So very, very nice. I'll be very honest. When I had learned that the core rulebook for Pathfinder is sold out, in fact, it was, I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was 8 months of stock of the core rulebook that Paizo had, and it sold out in 2 weeks. So they had to go and get a new print run going. I think it'll be available again in April. I had reached out to my contact at Paizo, and I had mentioned that since there was no way for anybody to get the physical core rulebook from Paizo, I'm sure somebody out there, third-party retailer, probably still has copies. But I said, hey, you know what you guys should do is you should at least slash the price of the core rulebook by like 50%. I said, I know you guys do those awesome humble bundles. I'm not telling you to do that. And then, sure enough, we hit the humble bundle. So I'm not saying that I was the reason behind it, but it was kind of obvious that this would be an excellent thing to do, seeing that the core rule books had sold out. I thought that was pretty wild. And something very cool, the Abomination Vaults, it's for Foundry. This is the first time in any bundle that Paizo has included an actual virtual tabletop adventure complete. So pretty nice. Pretty nice. So yes, Kevin says for $5, you get the beginner box, core book, and bestiary. Enough to play a complete game right there. Oh, it certainly is. All right, that is it for the news tonight. Of course, I didn't mention anything from DriveThruRPG for the news tonight, but please keep in mind that the gaming gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you find yourself going over to DriveThruRPG for any particular reason, such as, the thousands of articles that we've got on thegaminggang.com about games that are available there. Anyway, if you are heading over there, or DM's Guild or Storyteller's Vault, what have you, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like this video, if you dig the channel, if you find thegaminggang.com to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you can always swing on over to paypal.me/thegaminggang and making a small donation. And thank you to all of you out there who use the banner ads and or stop by paypal.me. It is vastly appreciated. Thank you very, very kindly. So, Double Ham says humble brag for a humble bundle. Like I said, I don't think I'm sure I was not the person who put that idea in their head. But I was like, hey, come on, guys. You're sold out of the core rule book. Come on. I message back and forth with my Paizo contact. So he's a really nice guy. He's a very cool guy. In fact, I probably won't deal with him for much longer because he's been promoted. So I'm going to have to deal with somebody new in their marketing department. But that's cool. Very, very cool. All right, so we're going to be taking a look at the BX Advanced Bestiary Volume 1 in just a few moments. But a couple of things I did want to mention. The channel has passed 9,800 subs. We have nearly 10,000 subscribers to the Gaming Gang channel. Thank you very, very much. And of course, if you're ever looking to help spread the word about the Gaming Gang here on YouTube, best way to do it is thumb up the videos, comment on the videos. It shows engagement, and YouTube will catch that, pick up on that, and they will share the videos much more quickly than they do if nobody comments, nobody, even a thumbs down, which I'm not telling you thumb down the video, but even a thumbs down shows engagement. And that is actually what YouTube is interested in. So if you're a subscriber, thank you very much. I certainly do appreciate it. Also, you may have caught my latest video that I shared. It was why you should play the index card role-playing game from Runehammer Games and Modifius Entertainment. So that is that's done pretty well. This is a really fun role-playing game, and hankering for an ale from Runehammer Games has sent me the Foundry Virtual Tabletop premium kit for ICRPG. So I'll be checking that out. It's probably going to be my first VTT review. How about that? So, Fleming here, it says, deserve 10 times as many subscribers, maybe? Maybe that's what Fleming Heron's talking about. Then again, maybe it's like 10 times as many slaps upside the head. I don't know. All right, something else. I am going to be attending GaryCon at the end of March. So if you are going to be attending yourself, let me know. Always looking to, I'm going to bring some board games and stuff. Just, to have them handy. And my best friend, Elliot Miller, will be there as well. Unfortunately, he's not going to be going to Gen Con. So he informed me today that it's basically coming down to doing Gen Con or San Diego Comic-Con. And for him, San Diego Comic-Con is more like a vacation than going to Indianapolis. And I can understand that. I get that. Also, probably him being denied a press pass to Gen Con may have had something to do with it too. So, because he hasn't been doing stuff. Yeah, I guess I can understand. I can understand Gen Con not giving him a pass. So, Joseph asks, all 4 days of GaryCon? Yes, I'm actually probably going to be up there the Wednesday before. Well, I shouldn't say probably. I've booked the room for Wednesday. So I figure I'm probably going to head up there on Wednesday, bum around Lake Geneva, because it has been a long time since I have been to Lake Geneva. In fact, the last time I was up in Lake Geneva, they still had a Playboy Club. And I think I was about 13. No, I take that back. No, actually, that is right. No, I take that back. I was in Lake Geneva, I think, when I was 20 was the last time. But still, it's decades. It's decades ago. So, but yes, I will be there all 4 days. And I think Elliot says he's trying to head up there after work on Thursday. So he would probably be up there around 6, 7 o'clock. So looking forward to that. Should have some fun. Still can't register for any of the events yet because I have a silver badge because they don't do press passes. Although it was weird. They said, if you wanted to buy a pass, then we'll let people know you're the press. I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, I have business cards to do that. So, all righty then. So we're going to be diving on into BX Advanced Bestiary Volume 1 from Third Kingdom Games. But first, I think it's time for a brief intermission.
It's intermission time, folks. Time out for a delicious snack in our sparkling refreshment building. Every item a fresh, appetizing taste treat.
Candy is the latest food, eat some every day. Oh, we ride in the rodeo, roping steers and busting broncos, and we haven't had a bite to eat since dawn. We are hungry and we're dragging, but here comes the old chuck wagon with the fiddles that we long for. Bring her on!
Now I'm the U.S. Marshal. To soft drinks I am partial.
And this popcorn's good.
My gosh, I say it be.
We like 'em, lick 'em, ice cream, and this ice cream, very nice cream.
You buy 'em,
And you try 'em,
and you see. Now it's time for intermission, so let's all hit the trail and gather round the sweet bar where these goodies are on sale.
On sunny Sunday afternoons we play the songs of old. We love to play for Valentine, the ale with brewer's gold.
It's got that big taste, big ale taste. Oh, that Valentine. Ale with brewer's gold.
Now when we play that papa, the folks cheer all the time. For brewer's gold, the flavor hops they use in Valentine. Brewer's
Brewer's Gold, the rare strain of flavor hops. That's the extra something in Ballantine Ale that no other drink can offer. It's the ale with the big, big taste. So if you enjoy good living, good eating, you'll enjoy Ballantine Ale with Brewer's Gold.
Enjoy that big taste, big ale taste. Oh, that Valentine.
It's the genuine
Ale with Brewer's Gold.
Let's stop and make a pot of Wilkins coffee.
Keep going. I don't like coffee.
It happened that way. Moving west.
The Navy frogmen go into action. Beneath enemy ships, Navy frogmen work swiftly and secretly until... Look how real these miniature Navy frogmen are. The Torchman, the deadly demolitions expert, and the daring obstacle scout. These miniature Navy frogmen swim, dive, and surface by themselves, and they can be yours now. Look, here's where your free supply of high-pressure propellant goes. Ordinary baking powder will work, too. Now, here's how to get your set of 3 plastic Navy frogmen. For each set of 3, send 1 box top from Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes and only 25 cents, or send 1 box top from Kellogg's Sugar Corn Pops and 25 cents. Use the handy order blank on the packages of Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes or Sugar Corn Pops, or mail direct to Navy Frogmen, Box 350, Battle Creek, Michigan. Hurry!
I have to chuckle about that Ballantine beer commercial because it's like the husband and wife both have a bottle of the beer, and the husband's like, "Here, honey, let me mansplain this beer to you." It's like, what? She's got her own bottle right in front of her. It's like, what does she need to look at yours for? And yes, Wilkins is a stone cold killer. Wonskins dies. No. Poor Wontkins. All right, so Christopher Rush, Tessie, Trekkie, and Rapscallion J are in the house. Howdy, howdy. All right, so today I am going to be taking a first look at the BX Advanced Bestiary Volume 1 from Third Kingdom Games, written by Todd LeBack. This 136-page softcover is actually available from the Third Kingdom Games website right now. There is going to be a print-on-demand hardcover and softcover in about a week or two over at DriveThruRPG. But you can get the PDF right now over at DriveThruRPG for $13.95. Do you want a bonus? English, Jeff, use it. I also want to mention, as a bonus, I'm going to be taking a peek at Filling in the Blanks, also written by Todd LeBack from Third Kingdom Games. But first off, we're taking a look at the BX Advanced Bestiary right here. So hopefully the camera is going to be the sharpest you have seen yet. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm certainly hoping it's going to be. I don't know. But I have been playing around a bit. So essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to downsample 4K to 1080 so that this looks sharper. We'll find out. We will find out. Volume 1 of the BX Advanced Bestiary takes a look at the monsters in old school essentials A to D and provides customization options and new varieties of creatures to confound and confront players in all sorts of OSR-style games. From Ape White to Dryad, this book has almost 100 new monsters, 4 new character classes, and more. So let's see what we've got. So we've got a variety of different artists. In fact, let's give them credit. I'll read them out, even though I'm probably going to butcher maybe one or two of the names. Adrian Barber, Carlos Castillo, Dan Smith, Dennis McCarthy, Francesco Accordi, Marco Ortiz Walters, Michelle Smallwood, and Teresa Guido. There we go. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So we have, it's like all of our monsters here. And it looks like we'll get, it looks as if we have a kind of an overall like crocodile, right? And then we're going to have different kinds of crocodiles. So I think that's what the main focus of this bestiary is to take some of the, well, I think maybe it might be all of the entries for the monsters from Old School Essentials and kind of build on that. So let's see what we've got. Do want to mention, fine folks over at Third Kingdom Games were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the gaming gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. We're not going to look at each and every page either, but I do want to give you a good idea of what's in here. So here's something interesting. It says this book uses some terms that are different from the Old School Essentials rules and are explained below. Ability check. Character rolls a number of 6-sided dice, the objective being to roll equal to or less than the indicated ability score. This is a success. Roll fails if it is higher than the ability score. Typical difficulty is 3d6, although the referee may add dice to the roll to represent increased difficulty. In rare circumstances, roll may only be 1d6 or 2d6. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, that is how some action resolution was done in some of the old role-playing games. In fact, somebody out there, I bet you it would be Kevin. Kevin's kind of our expert as far as these things go. If I remember correctly, I thought Dave Arneson's game, when he was running Blackmore, and it was kind of a mishmash of chainmail and his own rules, I could have swore that the characters had all these various different skills. They didn't really have, I don't think they had the attributes. And it was 2d6. So players would roll 2d6, and I believe they needed to roll less than to succeed. So even if you had a 12, you could still fail at things. All right, so we've got blind sight components. We have conditions. So we've got afraid and prone, shaken, slowed, stunned. Exceptional ability scores. So going from 19 to 25 with intelligence, strength, and wisdom. Here we've got dexterity, constitution, and charisma. And we've got a new cleric turning undead table. So we already saw that we're supposed to get like 4 new character classes. So little optional rules in here too. Kind of cool. I started to take a peek at the Populated Hexes monthly year 1. Interesting stuff. It's packed with goodies, I'll tell you that much. And you don't really have to be insanely into hex crawls either. So here we've got the Basilisk. So we got some variations. We have the Absalom Basilisk, which Populated Hexes monthly. Absalom is the default setting. It's the world that takes place in. So we have a Cryolisk, greater basilisk. Artwork's pretty nice. Artwork really does have that old Monster Manual vibe to it, doesn't it? Although I got to admit, this artwork's a little too good to have been in the AD&D Monster Manual. So these are variations of bats. We've got the bear. Very happy to see a lot of artwork too. Smarter than your average bear. Oh, that is great. Special qualities. Roll a 6-sided die, and number 4 is smarter than your average bear. The bear is as smart as an average human. It can open doors and windows, plan ambushes, and understand human speech. The bear is friendly, 1 to 2, and helpful, 3 to 4, mischievous and capricious, or 5 and 6, openly malevolent and spiteful. Well, I can tell you right now that this bestiary's got some personality to it. I like that. Black pudding. Let's see what kind of variants we've got. Arctic pudding, blood pudding. There you go. Crimson pudding. Kevin says that they think I'm correct about the skills that Dave Arneson had used. So Kevin says they're pretty sure that they've seen the ability check system described here somewhere, but they can't remember where. So Flaming Heron says only picnic baskets are in danger from that bear. Yeah, I used to do a very bad Yogi Bear impersonation, but it was there was some swear words involved in it, so I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. All right, I will. Hey, boo boo. Fuck the picnic baskets. Let's go kill that ranger. That was it. But it's one of those, inside jokes that's like so old, it's something, decades old, that all I got to do is throw it out there with my friends and they just all start busting up. Out of nowhere, I can just toss it out there. So we got the carcass crawler. Some variations. We got a carcass worm. Nidhogg, the Shaglahu. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that stuff. This is cool. Cave locust. What is? It's like, So Tessie Trekkie says, people interrupting me while I'm eating pizza and watching the gaming gang. Damn those people. Damn you people interrupting. This looks really interesting. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's take a look at the entry for the Chimera in some depth here. Chimeras are crossbred creatures created via magic or accident. The traditional Chimera in the old school essentials rules has the 4 quarters of a lion, the hind quarters of a goat, the wings of a dragon, and 3 heads, 1 each of a lion, goat, and dragon. It's not specified which type of dragon the head belongs to, but under the attack section, it's noted that the dragon breathes a cone of fire. Therefore, the potential for variability exists right off the bat, with the option to change the type of dragon and breath weapon. Since chimeras are hybrid creatures, the chance of them having a special qualities increased to 1 and 2 and 6, and this is rolled for each creature encountered. It is therefore quite possible that within a group of chimeras, each possesses a different quality. Dire, dragon's head, immunity, spell casting, spell-like abilities. So the variations, we've got Gorgamera, which has the heads of a dragon, gorgon, and lion. We have the Basamera, with the front body and right head of an owl, the rear body and left head of a boar, and center head of a basilisk. The Basamera is an ill-tempered beast, comfortable hunting at day or night. It lacks wings that enable flight, and while smaller than the standard chimera, is perhaps more foul-tempered. That's pretty funny. Damn, that's a foul-tempered chimera. So quite a few. We got our cockatrice. I always find the cockatrice to be kind of interesting because in some role-playing games, it is just a schlep. And it's really nothing. And then other role-playing games, a cockatrice could be a real pain in your ass. So we got giant crabs. So it appears that each of these entries will have some special variations that you'll roll on. And then we also get a variety of other kind of subclasses of them. So here we've got doppelganger. Yeah, it's a doppelganger. So here, special qualities. Seems like each of these entries have that. So we've got also have a changeling, the metamorph, the skin stealer. We got a skinwalker. Maybe skinwalker is the skin stealer. Nice. This is very cool. Oh, dragons. I guarantee we've got quite a few pages devoted to them, right? That'd be my guess. And it looks like I would be correct. Oh, yeah. Yep, we do have quite a few pages devoted to the dragons. We got the dragon turtle, the driver ant, and then we have the dryad. And then we have appendices. So I think maybe this is where we'll have our new classes at. So remember, this is for old school essentials. So the classes are going to be like the classic fantasy, not advanced fantasy, I would assume. So we got animal training. So we got rules about that. Crocodile tears. Awakened, I should say, cave locust. Changeling. That's kind of. Oh, so these are it's kind of discussing special rules that you might utilize with them. And then we've got the monsters by hit dice, monsters alphabetically. Oh, no, I'm sorry, by type and terrain. That's weird. I didn't necessarily see the 4 new classes. Maybe they're buried in here someplace. Very interesting. Very cool. So that is the BX Advanced Bestiary Volume 1. And of course, I'll be reviewing this in the very near future. And we're going to take a look at filling in the blanks. You may recall last week, I took a look at the year 1, the first year, I guess I should say, of populated hexes monthly, as well as the introduction to Absalom, which is the home world of the setting. It is the setting for the populated hexes. So this is a guide to creating hex crawls. This is also written by Todd LeBac. And our artists for this are Jen Drummond for the cover. And then interior art, Chad Dickott, Adrian Barber, and Dan Smith. So let's jump on in here. Oh, look at this little advertising. Little advertising for Old School Essentials. I like Old School Essentials. I am a huge fan. I personally, if I were running it, I'd do Advanced Fantasy. Because that was the game that I started with. Was a D&D. So, actually, you know what? I take that back. I think I played regular D&D before Advanced D&D. But I seem to remember playing more AD&D than anything else. Although the reality, and I've talked about this before, the reality is by 81, probably late 81, I was already gone from D&D. It was Call of Cthulhu, baby. So, all right. So here's our table of contents. So once again, this is another review copy that Third Kingdom Games was kind enough to send along to me. So Coco B says that bestiary is a fun book. Looks like a potential pickup. Yes. Once again, as I mentioned, that bestiary, there is a soft cover available at the Third Kingdom website, but there's going to be a print on demand from DriveThruRPG in about a week or two, both hardcover and soft cover. I don't have pricing, of course. So Tessie Trekkie asks if I'm planning on looking at Pirate Borg, or is it Pirate Big? You scurvy landlubber. All depends. It all depends on Free League Publishing. If they send it along or not. I figured I'd probably reach out to my contact over at Free League. I actually have 2 different contacts now. It's kind of interesting because one is a PR company that's working with Free League as well as Modifius Entertainment. So they're kind of well, I guess I should say they are now my contact for Modifius, but I still have my usual contact with Free League. So it's kind of strange. All right, so filling in the blanks, a guide to populating hex crawls. Oh, and I was going to mention before I ran across that question from Tessie Trekkie, hopefully this looks pretty sharp. Got to keep in mind, it is a stream. I only have so much bandwidth I can use, but hopefully this is looking fairly sharp image-wise. So the rules in this document present guidelines for generating random hex content for use in fantasy role-playing games. It uses the old school essential system by Necrotic Gnome, as well as the Third Kingdom Games populated hex crawl series and other supplements. However, it can easily be adapted for use by any fantasy system, old school or not. Mr. Bacon Pan says, looks sharp. Cool. Excellent. I try. I do my best. I'm always trying to, improve at least the audio and video quality. I can't promise you the content itself is all that entertaining, but still. Mike S is with us in chat. Good to see you, Mike. Says, looks good to me, even with my bad eyes. So Joseph says, looks clear enough to read. So that's sharp enough. Like the matte finish, is the paper thick? Yeah, it's actually very nice. Very nice paper quality. Okay, so we've got placing layers and features. So we're going to find this is going to have a lot of random tables, I would guess, because you're going to probably get an idea of what the actual terrain is and then maybe dive down a little more into it. So, and then we have larger hexes with smaller hexes within. So the way the populated hexes monthly is set up is that we'll have like a big world size map with a hex and then drill down into that hex and there'll be different locations. Which I think, to be honest, I think a lot of our like populating hex crawls comes from a couple of sources. One that I don't think a lot of people know of. And I think the first one people actually do know, and it's Outdoor Survival from Avalon Hill. And Outdoor Survival is ranked as one of the worst board games ever made. I'm not kidding. But Wizards of the Coast actually, if I remember correctly, they actually licensed out the like hex generation. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then I honestly think some of the philosophy, maybe not necessarily mechanically, some of the philosophy from Source of the Nile, which was also Avalon Hill, where you were obviously enough trying to find the source of the Nile. I think that with the way that the hexes were generated for that, I think that kind of carried over a little bit as well. So we've got, for an example, we've got caves. So caves will have, so this first table shows us how many entrances. Cave entrances will be classic, existing sinkholes, concealed in some fashion, obviously worked, door fitted across the entrance, carving surrounding the entrance, etc. So you're rolling percentile dice for these. So once we get into the caves, how many chambers? Rolling that. Chambers in a cave are connected by tunnels. On a roll of 1 to 4 and 6, the chambers are separated by normal dungeon distances. The remainder of the time they are, and then you'll roll that. Changes in elevation. Rate of elevation change. Rocks. Outcroppings. So, soil, water, terrain. So that was just for the caves. Then we have structures. Possible structures, burial grounds, monuments, dwellings, fortification, infrastructure, barriers, and dungeons. So Kevin says, yep, they can see the text clearly. Cool. This looks very interesting. I had heard good things about this. So I've heard a lot of people recommending filling in the blanks. Now, of course, you have to enjoy hex crawls. And as a game master, you have to enjoy creating those hex crawls. And, you know, I got to be honest, I've known game masters over the years who were not fans of world building. They wanted nothing to do with it. Everything they wanted was to be like presented in front of them. They have a source book, and that's great. I enjoy that. But I think it's also pretty well known. I've pointed this out many, many times. There isn't anything out there I've ever run as written. It doesn't matter if it's a supplement or an adventure or what. Right, so we've got, this looks like agricultural. Hazards. There we go. Roll D10 to determine what the hazard is. Geographical, plant-based, weather/climate, magical, or unusual. And the hazard can be found in 1 subhex, 1d4 plus 1 subhexes, 3d6 subhexes, 3d10 subhexes, and 1d4 hexes. This is if the hazard is weather or climate. Add 10 to the roll. So this book clocks in, I believe, at 85 pages. So this is the hardcover we're looking at right now. It carries an MSRP of $22.99. The PDF is available over at DriveThruRPG for $10.95. So settlements, here we go. As I mentioned, we're skipping some pages here and there. Magic. Magical features are broken into several categories, but they all share several broad traits. Unless otherwise stated, magical features cannot be dispelled by anything short of a wish or divine intervention. Unless otherwise stated, the effects of a magical feature always occur. A zone where spells have their range increased by 25% always increases their range by 25%. And then we got different effects. Climate, flora and fauna, other, ley lines, space and time. Very nice. I could see a lot of game masters out here getting a ton of use out of this. Not necessarily completely populating their world only with this book, but getting things started and getting the creative juices flowing. That to me, that's one of the most important things out there, is a product that gets your creative juices flowing, and it doesn't matter how it does it. So I talked about this when I was discussing index card role playing game, that it's kind of a creativity engine. Is it the most phenomenal rule set out there? Well, no, of course not. It's pretty abstract in certain ways that people want far more detail in some of their games. But nonetheless, it is a creative, like, just battery for you to draw from. Anyway, this is Filling in the Blanks, a guide to populating hexes. And this is also from Third Kingdom Games, written by Todd LeBack. I will have a review of this in the near future as well. Flaming Heron says, well, sometimes they just want to run a game. They're a big fan of making their own worlds. I'm with you on that. I agree. Sometimes I'll be the first to admit that I don't sit in, like, I don't world build a lot. I prefer, what I like to do is I like to take an adventure and tear it apart and put it back together. I mean, unless it's a fantastic adventure, then obviously enough, I'll still tweak it to some points. But that's usually what I like to do. I mean, because normally I don't have a lot of time to just sit down and build an entire world and adventure and things like that from scratch. What I actually think I'm best at is flying by the seat of my pants with something that I already have an idea of what's going on. I'm not big on complete randomness, because especially seeing that I run a lot of Call of Cthulhu. And to me, randomness does not work well just in Call of Cthulhu. But yeah, I tend to be pretty good at kind of taking something that's going on and running with it. At least my players would say that. All right, so once again, that is the BX Advanced Bestiary Volume 1, as well as Filling in the Blanks. These are both from Third Kingdom Games. One last thing I do want to mention, I was talking about that Pathfinder Humble Bundle earlier. Right now, you can get the PDF Packed Worlds for Starfinder free. So I have a news item on thegaminggang.com with a link. You can go get it absolutely free. There's a code for you to use at checkout. So if you are doing any sort of like science fantasy role-playing games, doesn't even have to be Starfinder, because Packed Worlds is sort of the gazetteer of that galaxy. So it is absolutely free right now, and I think it's free for a few days. Off the top of my head, I think it's the 13th. All right, so that is it for this time out. So what's cooking the rest of the week and into next week? Well, tomorrow I am going to review. Yes, I'm going to do a live review. It's been a while. I'm going to review Tome of Beasts Volume 3 from our friends over at Kobold Press. This is actually hitting stores this week. So I will be sharing my thoughts about this on tomorrow's show. Wednesday, we are going to take a look at the Grizzled Armistice Edition from a Cool Mini or Not. So we're going to take a first look at that. If for some reason I get the new D&D book and it's not like a scheduled stream night, I will probably do a live stream to share that. If it shows up like for us to take a look at during one of the streams next week, I will do that. But just in case, I am probably going to be rolling out a Kobold Press week with 3 reviews. Yes, that's right. Tome of Beasts 3 Layers. So, of course, that goes nicely with Tome of Beasts tomorrow. And then Book of Ebon Tides. And Tales from the Shadows. And stay tuned this week. I will finally have my review of Cyborg out there. I had some things come up over the weekend. Not bad. I mean, it just took me away from doing, a lot of other stuff. Anyway, so Flaming Heron says, great book. I'm assuming I'm not spoiling the review. No. Kevin Smith says, yeah, they checked. They already have packed worlds. So the Madman says, the Grizzled is fun but hard to win. Sometimes it can come down to how the cards are drawn. I don't mind that. That's okay. I like the Lost Expedition from Osprey Games. So that doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all. All right. So decent length show tonight. I thought it would actually probably go a little bit longer. But I didn't babble on as usual. So, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Comment on the video, too, if you get a chance. I don't expect you to write a novella, but if you comment, it really does help show YouTube engagement. It helps them share the videos with other folks who might someday become subscribers and join us in chat. Never know. Anyway, of course, if you're not a subscriber, by all means, subscribe. What's stopping you? And of course, if you do subscribe, ding that bell because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my latest episode of Why You Should Play, featuring the Index card role-playing game from Runehammer Games and Modifius Entertainment. All righty, everybody enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is. If you're watching live, thank you very much. If you watched live and took part in chat, well, you're going to get one of those optional variant beasties from that bestiary showing up, knocking on your door with a special gift. Anyway, of course, I know a lot of you out there, you don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. I really do appreciate each and every one of you taking time out of your busy life to watch any of the videos here on the channel. Right, I'll be back tomorrow. I will be reviewing Tome of Beasts Volume 3. And of course, here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.
Oh, hey, you're still here. That's okay. You don't have to leave just yet. In fact, why don't you subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel right here, or take a peek at the latest live stream, or even find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks again for watching.